They look like cupcakes.
I have my apron on, ready to bake.
That's right. It's actually soap. This is genius. It looks like you can eat it. I just love it.
We also have these little donuts.
Look. Oh my gosh.
So I actually, Willeen bit into this. We put saran wrap in there so she could take a bite. Isn't that funny?
That is funny. Yeah. I love it.
So I actually did a Willy Wonka themed birthday party for my daughter Lily like 2 years ago, and I went on Etsy and I bought a bunch of these soaps, and they were really expensive, and I was like, God, these are cool. And so I decided to make them, and they were actually pretty easy to make. So
did the kids try to eat them?
Well, I had to tell everyone not to, because we had candy and gummy bears.
Right.
Like they make, you know, there's every kind of soap mold out there.
I love it that you have in your guest room and you take these in and put them in, and people are enchanted by them.
Yeah, and watch them eat them.
Can you show us how to make them? First of all, tell us what supplies we need.
All right, so you're going to need these silicone cupcake molds, and these are actually made for real cupcakes. You're gonna find them in the baking aisle at Michael's, or any grocery store carries them now too. And then you're going to need glycerin soap, and that comes in white or clear. You can buy these in 5-pound boxes, which are about $20, or they come in smaller slabs, depending on how much soap you wanna make. And then you're going to need the different colorants and fragrances if you want to add. We have some toppings that we'll get to later.
Can I just ask you a question about the coloring? You're not saying food coloring. This is specific
those
to
are specific for soap. If you go into the soap aisle of any craft store, you will see all the colorings and all the fragrances that you can add to the soaps.
To the soaps, okay.
Do not use food coloring, because I think that would dye your skin.
Okay.
So, and then you're going to either use the molds or the silicone, like I said. This is really cool because you can buy these plastic molds already done, or we're going to show today with the silicone.
All right, these sprinkles here are not real sprinkles,
No,
right?
those are soap sprinkles, which are actually online. If you didn't have soap sprinkles, you could use edible sprinkles because they dissolve when they touch your skin because they're sugar. But those are pretty cool, aren't they?
Yeah, they are super cool.
I know, it's fun.
All right, so what's the first step?
What you're gonna do is you're gonna take a Tupperware, or you can take a glass bowl, anything really, because it's soap, it'll wash right out. And you're gonna cut your soap into chunks, if you just wanna do this, and you're gonna put it in the bowl.
Okay.
Just like this.
How much do I put in?
You can just put bunches of, I fill it like halfway, and it doesn't matter, we just do small increments. Sometimes I mix the clear with the white. If you do the clear, like this right here, the color will be more vibrant.
Okay.
So let me add some of this.
The white will come out more vibrant?
The clear will be more vibrant with the colors, the white will make them more pastel.
Okay.
So if you want to add a couple drops of color.
Which are in these jars here, right? Okay.
So you add a couple drops, and then you'll stir it in.
Okay.
Just like this. And this is the soap that's already melted. What I did was I just put this in at put it in this one, the one that's already melted. You put this in the microwave, right here, at 30-second intervals until it's completely melted, then take it out and add all your coloring and all your scents.
Now, why do you do it in 30-second intervals?
Because you don't want it to get too bubbly and too hot.
Okay.
So after about 50 seconds, it'll be completely melted. Depending, I would work in smaller batches. If you have too much, it'll dry out.
Okay, these are pretty colors. Look at that.
That's fun.
Yeah, lime green. I love it.
So you get creative.
Okay, now what?
And then we're gonna line up our silicone molds on a baking sheet, just like you would with cupcakes. And you're gonna fill them. So if you wanna take your soap and just carefully pour it into the molds.
Do I do it to the top?
Right to the top.
Okay.
Just like that.
Ooh.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, super cool.
And then you're gonna leave it on here, and it's gonna take about 40 minutes to cool. If you pop it in the refrigerator, it'll cool even quicker.
Okay.
And just leave it as is, because you don't wanna move it.
All right.
All right, so once those completely cool, we're gonna take them out of the molds.
How did you get this chocolate one? This looks...
That is just brown coloring. Again, in the aisle. Isn't that
I'm
cool?
sorry, this looks like
So
a giant
it peels,
Reese's peanut butter cup. I so want to eat this.
Don't eat it, that would be disgusting.
My favorite chocolate ever.
But you could no, I don't want that.
No.
Wash out your mouth, here you go.
I was gonna say, this takes washing your mouth out with soap to a new level.
So do you see how easily it comes out? Mm-hmm. Perfect, that's why the silicone is so neat. They literally pop right out. So this is when we're gonna frost it. Now, what you're gonna do for the frosting, the same method. You're gonna put all your soap slivers into a glass bowl or into a Tupperware bowl, and you're going to mix it.
Okay.
With a real mixer, just like you would whipped cream. All right, so we have this heating because you wanna take it out and do it right away. And this is, you would mix it on low for about 4 minutes.
Okay.
And we don't have 4 minutes,
no,
fortunately.
So what happens to it?
So I'm gonna whip it up a little bit higher, but see, if you do it faster, see this? Mm-hmm. You can get this cool cotton candy look, just like that. And if you do it really slow, we can put it in this piping bag. Here, if you wanna, hopefully we can get it in there. See all the bubbles?
Yeah.
And then, like you said, once you frost your cupcakes, you can decorate it with the sprinkles, with the edible sprinkles, with the fondant, as long as it's sugar. I mean, you want to tell people not to eat it.
Well, while you're doing that, can I ask you a question about these over here? I'm going to reach over, because I think these are enchanting. It looks like roses. Look how beautiful
Aren't those
that
cool?
is.
And that's made with the regular mold. So if you didn't want to do the frosting, we have that mold over there.
The mold, which is over here. Okay.
And then you don't have to do any of the frosting. Look at that.
Oh, look at the bubbles.
Isn't it cool?
Tiny bubbles. Look, there are tiny bubbles.
Still a little frothy.
Okay. So these, and I'm going to pull this off. So how did you get this to stick?
You're going to put more soap on that just for it to stick.
More soap on it to make it stick. Okay. So this
Ours is a
thick.
little hot, so it's taking a while.
Yeah. Okay. So then when that becomes nice and thick, you have to put it in the piping bag right away because it'll get hard.
It will. You can put some in there right now. It's not really making stiff peaks. You would just look like make it.
Right.
What am I saying?
No, you don't want to make stiff peaks. You want it to be the consistency of frosting,
it looks like
right?
frosting.
Yeah.
It'll take you a little while. Honestly, it's just like frosting, and then you'll whip it up and put it on there.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll put some in the bag and see if we can get it on there.
Okay, I'll hold that for you. In the meantime, here.
Well, I don't have a spoon, but we can use this.
Okay.
All right, and then you would pipe it just on.
I think we use just a little bit more. I'm going to let you do the honors since this is. Do we have? Yeah, we have a plain one. Ooh, that's hot. Okay. All right, let's see.
All right, just squeeze it down.
All right, squeezing it down. Well, this one more. Okay.
Just like that.
Oops, it's coming out. It's coming out. There you go. Okay. Okay. Here we go. All right. Okay, go.
Sorry.
Okay, go.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
Like a
yeah.
giant blob. This is like a regular tip.
Beautiful.
If you use
that's great. Can I put
and then sprinkle it.
Can I
so this
sprinkle?
is, we used a regular Wilton's tip. If you had a star tip, you could get it to look just like this.
Exactly. So you get two different consistencies.
Yes,
That's
any
beautiful.
size tip you use, exactly.
I love it. This is great.